I am excited to talk to you today about how to have a six-figure summer on Amazon. How is that even possible? What do you need to do? Well, you can't just like show up in the beginning of the summer, which we're recording this on April 10th. Summer is very close, but it's not like you just it's summer is here and all of a sudden you get a bunch of sales. There's things you need to do now and over April and May so that by the time June, July, and August hits, you're able to experience a six-figure summer. Um, there's two main things we're going to be talking about today, and that is ways that you can find more inventory to sell on Amazon, and there's other ways you can increase your ROI on that inventory that you have found. And so we're going to talk about that and dive into that. But before I do that, most of Amazon sellers experience a summer sales slowdown, and many of them reach out to us and they're like, "Why are my sales so slow?" And there's ways you can avoid that. We've been selling on Amazon. I've been selling on Amazon since 2011. Rebecca has been selling on Amazon since 2013. So we've got over a decade of experience between the both of us. Well, actually, 2 decades if you do math correctly. Um, and so we've got many years of summers that we've gone through. And yes, the first handful of summers were pretty slow and it was really annoying. And then I started to kind of figure out some things that I could do before the summer comes so that I can have a six-figure summer. In fact, if you do things correctly, the summer months, those 3 months could be the second best 3 month time period as an Amazon seller. You probably can assume that the best 3 month time period is October, November, and December, Q4, when sales on Amazon go crazy. And there's ways that you can set up to, have your Amazon business do really, really well in Q4, but you can also have your second best sales trio of months be summer. June, July, and August months can be really, really, really good. And so, but the reason why summer sales slow down, number one, is because people aren't preparing correctly for summer. That's what we're going to fix today. The second reason why summer sales tend to slow down is because people slow down their Amazon work. They're sourcing for inventory. They slow down the activities that they're doing in their Amazon business during the summer, and that leads to slower sales. And it makes sense. Kids, you've got kids at home, kids are home from school. They take more time in interaction and they should during the summer months. Summer months is also a time where people like to go travel. The weather is nicer, so that people we travel a lot. And so there are times when we're not working on our Amazon business because we're traveling, or getting ready from traveling, or recovering from traveling. And so don't hear me say, if you want six figures in sales, you need to ignore your kids and don't go anywhere. That's not what I am saying at all. But there are ways that you can help maybe minimize the distraction that your kids can be and also maximize the time that you're spending on your Amazon business while still enjoying traveling and good weather and destinations we're gonna be traveling, but there's things that we're gonna be doing before and after our trips so that we maximize our summer sales. So that's why summer sales usually slow down because Amazon sellers take their foot off the gas. They're not pressing as hard. They're not sourcing as hard. They're not focused on it as hard because they have a lot of other things going on. And so if you realize you're going to have to maybe make some schedule changes because you've got more time that you're going to be spending with the kids or time traveling, well, maybe there's some other things that you can take a break from. Maybe take a break from watching the latest new episode of the hottest TV show uh, just because you usually do it. Maybe during the summer because you're traveling and doing other things. That's what you're going to help replace your missed work time with some Amazon time. But let's talk about six figures. I mean, I want to get into this right now. I'm going to share my screen. Rebecca, you can tell me if you can see it. And I'm going to pull it up here. We're going to do some six-figure summer math. Rebecca, do you see that okay?
I see it. It looks good.
Excellent. Excellent. All right, so six-figure math. There are four steps to kind of give you an idea of the kind of math that it takes to have a six-figure summer. Some of you might be encouraged by this. Some of you might be discouraged by this. If you hear anything that we're talking about doing this six-figure summer math and you feel discouraged or how can I figure this out, we're going to help you. We're going to offer some help, ways that we can help and teach you some things when it comes to making this a reality. So, six-figure summer math. Here's the first step. And you either when I have this page filled of with all the notes, you might want to take a screenshot. I'll remind you again, or you can take notes and just write it down. Number one, find your ASP. That's ASP stands for average selling price. Find what your, if you are a current Amazon seller, find out what your average selling price is. So to do that, you log into Seller Central, sellercentral.amazon.com. You click on the little menu button, hover over reports, hover over business reports, and when you open up that page, there is a section on that page that says, I've got it right here, average sales per ordered item. So that's the average selling price. It won't say ASP, it won't say average selling price, but that's it, it will say average sales over order ordered number of items. And so if you want a quick link right to it, sellercentral.amazon.com / business hyphen reports / that's where you can go in your Seller Central to find out what your average selling price is. This is your average selling price for today. If you go to this page and you look at your ASP, it's only going to tell you your average selling price for the day. So the second step is to update your average selling price for the calendar year to date. So you can change it to January to April. If you want to even go even further, if you've been selling on Amazon even longer, if you want to do the average selling, like you can put in a customized date range and maybe do April 24 to April 25, meaning the year, not the date. Um, yeah, that would be one day if it's April 24th to April 25th. No, it's April of 2024 to April of 2025. You get a whole year's worth. Find out what your average selling price is. Basically, if you look at the last 3 to 4 months, that should give you an idea of what your average selling price is. And then you kind of know, okay, if I want to make six figures in sales on Amazon, I'm going to need to do some more math based on this average selling price. So, step number three, do the math. Do the math so that you can figure out what you need, what your goals need to be. So, um, if you want to have a six-figure summer, okay, well, what's six figures? What's 100,000 divided by the average selling price? So let's say your average selling price is 30. Okay, 100,000 divided by $30 per item means I need to sell in the summer 3,334 items. If your average selling price is $40, you can do the math and find out, okay, I need to sell 2,500 items to reach six figures in sales. If your average selling price is $50, you need 2,000 items sold at an average selling price of $50 to be able to make that $100,000. That's the minimum number possible for six figures in sales, 100,000. So you can do the math, take a screenshot of this, um, and so that you can kind of figure that out yourself, so that you know, because I'm about to go to the next page, there is unfortunately going to be more math to do. So step number four, do more math. So if your average selling price is $30 and your summer goal is 3,334, then if you divide it in by three, because summer, June, July, and August, the monthly goal is 1,111. If your average selling price is $40 and your summer goal is 2,500, that comes down to about 833 a month. If your average selling price is $50 and your goal is 2,000, that breaks down to about 667 items sold per month. So these numbers will kind of help you get an idea of the math that you need to do. Now, if your average selling price is $80, awesome. That means your goal is going to be smaller. Your monthly goal is going to be smaller. But if your average selling price is like $10, then your summer goal is going to be a lot higher, and your monthly goal throughout the summer is going to be even higher. But this kind of gives you an idea of what is possible if you're able to find that kind of inventory. And we'll get to that. We'll get to some strategies to find more inventory and also ways that you can increase your ROI because some of you might be thinking six figures in sales is awesome. It is. I mean, six figures in sales is awesome. But what about six figures in profits? What's the math so I can find out what kind of goals? Because I feel like I'm getting close to six figures in sales. I would like to get six figures in profits for the summer. So the math, and for all of you math haters, I apologize. Um, but six figures in profits, there's a little bit more math to do. So six figures in profits for selling on Amazon. Figure out what your average ROI is when it comes to your previous sales. What's your ROI? What is your percentage? Like, is your ROI 100%, 50%, 40%, 30%? What is your average ROI? You can use like a report in Inventory Lab if you use Inventory Lab to kind of figure out what your ROI is, or maybe you have an idea of what your general ROI is when it comes to, um, you know, figuring out what you're buying and reselling. If you use the Scoutify sourcing app with doing retail arbitrage, it can tell you what the ROI is if you type in your buy cost. If you use a app or a Chrome extension like Rev Seller for online arbitrage or wholesale, there are ways that they can calculate your ROI um, uh, per item with sales, but calculate what your average ROI is. And then with that, for 100,000 in profits, you need to profit $33,333 a month. I'm not doing the pennies and decimals and roundings and um, but that's basically $100,000. If you profit $33,000 a month, you're gonna be able to make six figures in profits. So step number two of six-figure profits. There's more math. I'm sorry. I'm going to use an example, 40% ROI. If you're buying something and you're getting and earning 40% ROI, you will need $83,332 of inventory spend to be able to if to spend that. If you're spending $83,000, 332, and you're getting an ROI of 40%, then that will help you get that $33,000 and 333 in profits. Now again, if these numbers are super huge to you and you're like, I am nowhere near that, don't worry. We're going to give you some strategies and some ways to be able to find more inventory and stretch your inventory sourcing budget that you have right now. But this is what I want you to see what it takes to have a six-figure summer on Amazon. So you're doing more math, and here's the next step. You've done the math, you figured out how much you need to spend in order to make the profits. Because with spending $83,000 and you're getting a 40% ROI, that means you're making back that $83,000, but you're making back an additional $33,332. That's a per month spend so that you can have a six-figure summer in profits. So if you're like freaked out and like these numbers are mind-numbing and I can't even imagine it, um, we can help get you to where these are possible for you. So step number three, rejoice, stop doing math and plan accordingly. Because again, some of you are hearing this, you're thinking, oh, I need to tune out. I need to stop this webinar. There's no way I'm going to be able to do this. Stick with us. We got you. We got you. But you need to make some plans accordingly. You need to start planning times to go out and do some sourcing, to go out and find inventory. If it doesn't get scheduled, it's probably not going to get done. And we want to make sure that things get done. So put it on the schedule. Sourcing time, whether it's retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, wholesale, whatever kind of sourcing method that gets you the biggest bang for your buck, the biggest ROI, schedule that and plan accordingly. Last chance to take a screenshot of this page in case you wanted to save it. Because this is ROI when it comes to profits is a little bit different than ROI when it comes to sales, but I kind of wanted to give you an idea of what to see. And so I'm going to stop sharing my screen and we're going to talk some strategies. Um, because selling on Amazon and having making six figures in profits, it's possible. And there's certain things that you can do. You want to do your best to avoid the summer sales slowdown. So what do? You feed the beast. Feed the beast is a phrase that Amazon sellers say, which means continually sending inventory to Amazon. The more inventory you send to Amazon, the more you're going to sell. The more consistently you send inventory to Amazon, the more time you're going to get in the buy box. And the buy box is that little box in the top corner of an Amazon sales page, product page that people click to buy. And yes, there is a way you can click a different link to see all the different offers, but over 80% of sales on the buy box come, or the sales on Amazon come from the buy box. And so that's where you want to be. So continually feeding the beast, continually sending more inventory in helps you get the buy box. When you order inventory or do retail arbitrage, process that inventory as soon as possible to get it to Amazon. The faster it gets to Amazon, the faster it can sell. The faster it gets to Amazon, the faster the beast gets fed and is happy and rewards you. Continue to push and do more sourcing, shipping to Amazon over and over again. And oh, haven't mentioned feed the beast. That's going to do wonders. Don't slow down. Yes, you're like, but I'm going overseas this summer. But I'm going on the well, I'm going on a trip too. But there's times where it's like, okay, I might need to sacrifice, watching baseball games on TV. I love watching baseball games. It's one of my favorite things to do. But I might skip some in order to be able to spend more time finding inventory. Or maybe your spouse and you likes to watch the latest episode of Fill in the Blank Show. Okay, well, maybe if you have a usual night that you do it, maybe skip one of those nights. Again, don't ignore your loved ones or anything like that. But there are some things in your life that you could probably temporarily sacrifice so that you can make sure you feed the beast and avoid that summer sales slowdown. So, two things we're going to focus on for the rest of this webinar. Number one, find more inventory. Number two, increase your ROI. So, how can we find more inventory? There are a lot of different strategies with finding more inventory. A lot of times, we don't find enough inventory because we basically source at the same stores. Maybe we've gone to a certain store, we found some success, and we keep going back, and now it's kind of dry. But that's where we found success before, so we keep going back to. So, to find more inventory, maybe source some more stores that are new, new to you, new to sourcing. Source places that you have not sourced at before, and you might be able to find some more inventory. Maybe source stores that used to be good, but then weren't good for a while, and you kind of wrote them off. I remember back before Big Lots closed down and went out of business, I found tons of stuff at Big Lots, like 10 years ago. And then they kind of dried up, and I barely found anything at Big Lots, and I completely wrote off Big Lots when it comes to sourcing. And then I just happened to be next to a Big Lots one day, and I went in and I filled up a whole cart of inventory at Big Lots. And I was like, oh, I need to start going back to, if there is a store you've written off, go back, try them again. Could it completely still be a waste of time? Yes. But at least you'll know. And if you find some stuff, you'll be happy. Also, when it comes to our Amazon business, sometimes we get comfortable sourcing in certain categories. Maybe you're like, I love books. I started with books. Books are still good. Or I love toys. Toys sell year round. Kids have birthdays every single day. Toys are awesome. But you might be missing out on some great home and kitchen items or grocery items or whatever other type of category. Look at what categories you usually sell in and see about looking into new to you categories that you have never sourced in before. And just like we want to check out the old stores that we've written off in the past, we kind of do the same thing with old categories. Is there a category that we've written off that is not very profitable or have good sales velocities or have too many return or whatever reason we've written them off? Go back and revisit them. Just kind of see how things are. Double check on things. Don't just assume things are still the exact same way. That can help you find more inventory. And always be sourcing. No matter what you're doing, always be sourcing. It's hard for me to go to the grocery store with my wife and not be like, I want to go scan some stuff. And so always be sourcing because you might find something. Another way to find more inventory, use deal lists. Deal lists are subscription-based services that give you consistent leads of inventory that you can buy in order to sell. We offer up a service called OA Success Leads. Rebecca can put the link in the chat. FulltimeFBA.com/OA Success. And it is a daily leads list every weekday. You get at least 15 leads with uh, um, like minimum ROIs, meaning like we have ROIs that we don't go below. We have sales rank we don't go above. And so if you are looking for consistent inventory, a deal list might be right for you. So you can check it out, fulltimefba.com/OA success. All the details will be on there for you. But deal lists can really help you find new inventory leads. Hear of new online arbitrage stores you've never heard of before. Send you down rabbit trails to find more inventory. So deal lists are a great way to find more inventory. Another step, and this might be a little scary for some of you, but one thing where you can find more inventory is to start lowering. This is not a suggestion for beginners on Amazon, but if you've gotten a little bit of comfort, a little bit of consistency, start lowering your ROI guidelines to help you find more inventory. A lot of times, Amazon sellers, when they first start off, they're thinking, all right, I'm going for 100% ROI. I want to double my money. And I mean, it's a good place to start, but you're not going to find much. We recommend beginners on Amazon start selling around the 50% ROI as a minimum. And so if you're not there yet, having a 50% ROI on then start lowering that. You're going to be able to find more stuff because more items will fall into your ROI guidelines, your minimums, if you lower that. If you're at 50% now, I would recommend checking out 40%, seeing how that feels. And I mean, don't go way down to like 25%. Um, that takes time and you'll end up making more mistakes. But if you start lowering your ROI guidelines of inventory that you're looking to sell on Amazon, you're going to find more stuff if you lower that ROI guideline minimum. So that is some ways that you can increase your inventory, find more inventory. Let's look at the second part. So I told you the first thing we're going to talk about ways that you can find more inventory. Secondly, how to increase your ROI, how you can make more on the exact same items you're already buying to sell on Amazon. How can you make more? So, the first thing that I recommend is using discounted gift cards. I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but there are websites online where you can buy discounted gift cards. Um, we recommend GCX, fultonfba.com/GCX. It stands for gift card exchange. You can buy discounted gift cards. So it'd be like, all right, I'm going to Target next week. I'm gonna go to fultonfba.com/GCX, and I'm gonna get a discounted gift card. I'm gonna buy $100 gift card for 80 bucks. That's 20 more dollars. That's 20 more dollars that you can spend for free on inventory at Target. Different stores will have different types of percentages, but there's retail arbitrage gift cards. There's also online arbitrage, buying online gift cards that you could actually sometimes same day buy the gift card, the discounted gift card, get the codes and PIN numbers emailed to you so that you're buying your inventory at a discounted rate. You're buying an $80 gift card, but you're only paying $70 for it. And so that's increasing your ROI, helping you make more money on buying the exact same items. So discounted gift cards, you should look into that. Again, that link, fultonfba.com/GCX, that stands for gift card exchange. And if you sign up with that link, fultonfba.com/GCX, you get a $5 bonus just added to your account. So there's discounted gift cards. You can also use cashback sites. We recommend the cashback site Rakuten. There's times where it's for online arbitrage. They also have a way you can set up to connect a credit card to Rakuten so that you can get some cash back on certain local retail purchases, but most of it is online arbitrage, online shopping. FultonFBA.com/Rakuten. And what it does is it gets you a percentage. Like sometimes it'll be like a 15% cash back. Well, you don't get 15% off your purchase, but once a quarter, they send you what they call the big fat check, and it's all of your cash back added up over the time. You can also do like a PayPal deposit, but we got the check in the mail. We like that. And so in fact, if you go to fultonfba.com/Rakuten, spelled Rakuten, you can get a $30 bonus for signing up and using their services. So cashback again. There's upfront discount cards that are helping you increase your ROI. There's cashback that you can use, I mean, wherever you want for more inventory. And there's also coupon codes. Like there's a website called Honey. If you go to fultonfba.com/honey, you can you can see what kind of gift cards are available for whatever store that you're at. Now, just understand when it comes to using cashback sites and coupon codes and that kind of stuff, um, most places cannot take both of them at the same time. It's like it's going to either take whichever is the most recent thing that you've activated. So if you activate cashback, but then use a coupon code, that negates your cashback. So just understand that. So you want to make sure that you um, go with whatever is going to give you the biggest savings, increase your ROI. So that's a way that you can increase your ROI. Discounted gift cards, cashback sites, coupon codes to be able to save money. The you still get that inventory to sell on Amazon, but you're getting it at a better price, increasing your ROI. So that is something that can help you just really open up the doors. And so when it comes to summer, there's just so many opportunities to really sell a lot of stuff on Amazon. Graduations, most of those are in June. Father's Day is in June. Independence Day is in July. It just gives you opportunities um, to sell stuff with different things that people are buying and can help you really do really well and um, Prime Day is also during the summer. Prime Day is usually mid-July when Amazon has already announced that in the past that like the Prime Day used to be 1 day and then they expanded it to 2 days. Well, this year for 2025, for the very first time, they're expanding Prime Day to be a 4 day event. So Prime Day, the days have not been announced yet, but we're expecting it in the middle of July. And so the more you get your inventory to Amazon, the faster Prime Day is going to give you a nice little boost because when people go to buy stuff on Amazon on Prime Day, they always double check their wish list. Oh, is there stuff that I thought I'd buy? Maybe it's cheaper now, and they end up buying more stuff on Prime Day. So making sure that you've got inventory at Amazon already for Prime Day, the middle of July. Middle of July is basically the middle of summer, right? So you can use Prime Day to really open up the doors to help you. And then toward the end of the summer, a lot of places start to get things clearanced out. Like I know Target does a huge toy clearance toward the end of summer. They first start off clearancing stuff out like 15% off, and then what doesn't sell gets clearanced off at 30%, and then what doesn't sell and still left over goes to 50%, then 70. I mean, sometimes it's up to 90%. So it's a chance where you can buy stuff and start stocking up for Q4. I mean, I know we're talking about having a six-figure summer, but sometimes the end of summer sales, when they're getting rid of the old stuff, so they're getting ready for the new stuff to come in, can help you really start stocking up for Q4. So, but you want to be aware that all of the stuff that's being clearanced out, like at a Target, if it's a store-wide sale, it's going to be most likely countrywide or worldwide. And so you don't want to go too deep. You want to make sure you get the inventory that you purchase at these store-wide sales as soon as possible to Amazon so you can get those sales. Um, there's just a lot of opportunities when it comes to selling on Amazon during the summer. Um, and then that even starts to go into back to school sales for after summer, where you know when it comes to back to school, it's still summertime. You're still getting the sales in the summer, but all the kids and parents are getting ready back to school. Everyone assumes the best thing to sell as a reseller on Amazon for back to school is school supplies. I mean, maybe every once in a while, but I have found the best items to source when it comes to back to school to sell during August while kids are about to ready to go back to school. Backpacks. Backpacks are awesome. Lunch boxes. Lunch boxes, not like bland, bland's not the right word. Simple backpacks. Like it's just a nice blue JanSport backpack. No, like character driven, movie driven, TV show driven backpacks with the um, you know, characters on them, the logos, the names of the shows, video games, backpacks, Minecraft backpacks, superstars, music stars on backpacks or lunchboxes. Those kind of things sell really well in back to school as a reseller. So I just kind of wanted to bring that to your attention so that you are aware of that. So those are some of the ways that you can take action so that you're able to have a six-figure summer. We already walked through the math to kind of figure that out, and ways that you can find more inventory and ways that you can increase your ROI. And I want to finish up tonight walking you through my next best step for you. The what can really help you understand what to do, not just in the summer, but all year round to be able to take advantage of every opportunity from January to December and know what to do, what to avoid, what to focus on, what to be ready for, what to prioritize from all year round. And that is because we have a course that is a combination ebook and video training course. And I want to give you a huge coupon code for this course. And also, we wanted to announce that the course, the Reseller's Guide to a Year in FBA, that's the course that will help you from January to December, what to focus on, what to ignore, how to go through every month of the year. This course is about to be retired. It first launched in 2015, I believe. I know even a few people who have attended here have already gone through the course, and have spoken praises of the course that has helped them out. But I'm gonna share my screen so you can see that. And Rebecca, you can tell me if you can see it on your screen. We
I see it.
have, we are having a retirement party for the Reseller's Guide to a Year in FBA. And so it's a retirement party. I had these over from like New Year's. It's a retirement. This course has helped out thousands of Amazon sellers to know what to do January through December. Um, but it's time to retire this course. Um, it's a month by month guide to a profitable Amazon business. And it's broken down into chapters, a chapter for every month of the year, a video training guide for every month of the year. And we got a coupon code. If you are able to get this course before Tuesday midnight, use the coupon code SAVE 2025, then you're going to save $100 off the cost of the course. You're going to be able to exactly know what to do month by month of the year. And you're not going to get left behind on profitable inventory opportunities, sales that come around. I basically in 2014, had a little spiral bound notebook and I took notes on everything that I went through in my Amazon business. Up and through and then the year after that, I started to use it as a resource. And then put this resource together and let other people get involved and help me build up that information. And we put together the Reseller's Guide to a Year in FBA that breaks down everything that you need to know in your Amazon business when it comes to timeliness and what to do, and includes trainings and walkthroughs on how to do certain things. Um, there is, I mean, it's our number one sold course, but we are going to retire it. We're going to be retiring it um, very soon, and this coupon code and this course is going to be going away on Tuesday at midnight. So coupon code again, save 2025 will help you save $100 off the cost of the course. So let's talk through what this course can help you with. I'm going to take this off because I just had to do that one more time. So the best items to buy during the month. Important reseller deadlines are outlined for you. The best times to reprice your inventory and also how. How to avoid the summer slowdown. I already talked to you about my main tips. I have other tips and strategies to avoid the summer sales slowdown. How to prepare to profit, but from all major and minor holidays. Store sales schedules kind of have, because I wrote down different stores and how they had their sales set up, and tons more information. So again, that coupon code save 2025 fulltimefba.com/year in FBA. It can really help you. We talked through Q4 strategies to maximize your Q4 profits. The best time to improve your feedback and how to do that. How to run your year-end tax papers and documents for tax purposes when it's time to do that. The course includes over 275 PDF documents from January to December, ideas and strategies to use at specific times of the year. And also, the course includes over $200 in coupon codes for other full-time FBA courses and resources. So I want to make sure that you're aware of that so that you can take it. Um, I got some bonuses for you. Bonus number one, 6 months of access to monthly AMA. Ask Me Anything calls. We have these scheduled for 6 months. Yes, the course is closing down on Tuesday, but we're going to keep these AMA calls going where you can show up and for a time period, I will answer the questions that you have based off of the content of the book, and also if you have any other questions for your Amazon business. So it's a great time to get some coaching. 6 months access to that is the number one bonus. Number two bonus is the Year in FBA printable notebook. Like I told you before, I had a little spiral bound notebook that I put together and wrote all my notes down. Well, I basically made a printable FBA notebook, Year in FBA notebook, for you to write down all of the things that you discover and see and want to make sure that you remember. Yes, you'll learn a lot from the course, but you'll also just learn a lot on your own. Maybe there's uh, a local retail store in your area that's not in my area, so it never showed up in my book. But you want to make sure it's in your book, so you write down the information so you can go back and look at it so that you are ready to take advantage of all the opportunities. There's also a bonus of a printable 2025 calendar, year in FBA calendar, and a training video on how to use that calendar. Um, there's also 12 months of video training focused on every month of the year. In January, how to have Q4 numbers in January. How about in February, how to make the most money in the shortest month. March, making green in March. I mean, in April, how not to be a fool in April and run your Amazon business the right way. In May, may the sales be with you. Bad Star Wars joke. You get the idea. Every month of the year, we're focusing on um, things that will help you that are timely. Like in August. Wait, there's Q4 prep in August? Yes, that's what you need to be prepping for Q4 in August. So we're going to make sure that you're ready to do that. So again, 12 months of PDF, 12 months of video training to help you in your Amazon business. All right, so again, fulltimefba.com/year in FBA. Use the coupon code SAVE 2025. That's going to save you $100 off the cost of the course. And I appreciate you being here tonight to talk about how to have a six-figure summer on Amazon. Rebecca's going to come back. We're going to answer some questions in the time that we have left. And so let's get going with that.
All right. So I am still taking the questions, organizing them in the chat and from the Q&A box. So go ahead and continue to put your questions there. We're going to prioritize questions about the course and about the um, content that we've covered, and then any other questions that you might have as well. So, first, a question that came up in the chat about the Year in FBA course and the fact that it's retiring. And so, just to clarify, we're retiring it in that we are closing enrollment for it forever. This is it's not going to go away in that if you already own it or if you purchase it now, you will still have access to it. It's not going to expire. We're not going to take it away from people who've purchased it. It is still valuable and it's still useful. And the people who own it and are opting in for this last round of enrollment today, it's not going to expire.
Yeah, just like when I plan on retiring one day, I'm not going to expire and go away. That's not my plan. I'm still going to be useful and helpful and involved in different things in my life. I'm just retiring from work. And so this is just retiring for new enrollees. And so if you purchased it in the past or if you purchased it today, you will still remain an owner of the course and have access to it.
Yes. All right. So And there's some other questions that are coming in the chat about the course for people who are already owners, and I'll answer those in the chat, but I'll get first, I'm going to kind of address a couple of things that I thought of as Stephen was teaching, and then I'm going to ask him some questions so that I can then go type in the chat.
Sounds good.
Okay. So, one thing that I wanted to say about the formula that you were showing earlier, and hopefully people were doing their screenshots or they can go back and check it out on the replay also. Um, that formula works no matter what your sales goal is. So, we're showing you how to have a six-figure summer, but you could adjust it.
Yeah.
It's a formula that can be adjusted. If you are well beyond a six-figure summer, then you can adjust that goal accordingly. If you are not quite there yet, you can also adjust it. If you're like, I don't want to get to six figures, I just want to get to 50K. Just adjust the numbers in that formula, and you should be able to come up with your own goals then.
Yeah, absolutely. Good
Yeah.
point.
And then another thing came up when you were talking about the different ways, when you were talking about Rakuten and Honey and the gift card exchange. I don't know why that's hard to say. Something was brought up in the chat too about cashback credit cards. And that is another way that we like to increase our ROI by just a little bit, is by using cashback credit cards so that we can get that cash back. The only thing is you have to be very careful with them because it can be tempting to not pay them off, to use them to try to leverage, your debt, your credit card in order to get more inventory. And that can be really dangerous. So only spend as much money on your cashback credit card for inventory as you actually have cash
Right.
in your
Yeah.
bank. Make sure you're paying that card off monthly, if not more than monthly, because if you end up paying interest, then you're not earning ROI, you're paying more for your
Right.
inventory.
Yeah.
And you can also get into a lot of trouble if you buy inventory that you're then not able to sell for whatever reason, and you still owe the money for it. So you just got to be really careful.
Yeah.
All right, so then we had a couple of questions about apps. One was, when you were doing those calculations, what app were you using? Were you using any apps to do the calculations, trying to figure out like how much you need to make in a certain amount of sales, how much you need to buy to make a certain amount of sales or profits?
I was not using any apps. I was just using math. So the calculator app, maybe. Um,
And you were using Seller Central, so that's where I was not sure.
okay.
I thought, did I
That
miss when I saw the question? I was like, did I miss something? I didn't think there was an app you were using. It was just Seller Central.
right. Yeah, that's where I got the average selling price.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. And then when it comes to figuring out what your ROI is, I said that you can use Inventory Lab to be able to see what your ROI is,
Okay.
or just use your best memory of what your ROI usually is and use that as a starting point. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and I'm gonna say I see several questions in the chat about current owners of your NFBA, and I have saved the chat so that I can go back and we'll send emails to answer those questions,
Okay.
'cause
Yeah.
it's really hard for me to ask Stephen the questions and answer questions in the chat. And so we're trying to keep the video and some of these questions separated. So I'll make sure that y'all get emails.
Yep.
Um Back to what you were saying though about using Seller Central or Inventory Lab, do you know just offhand, can you use the Seller app to find your ASP, or is that something you've ever played around with?
I have not played around with it enough to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't either. I'm not sure how much you can see business report, because since that's a business report, I'm not sure how much. Are you playing around with it now?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, see what you can find. You look at that and then I'll answer the question. There was another question about what sourcing apps do you use for RA? And so Stephen has already mentioned looking at some reports in Inventory Lab, and Inventory Lab is a desktop program that we use, but it comes bundled with an app called Scoutify. And all of it's part of Seller 365 now. And so you can get Inventory Lab bundled with Scoutify and other things in Seller 365. And yeah, Scoutify is what we've used for years when we're doing our RA sourcing. It's really handy. I know there's some people that only use the seller app when they're sourcing, but it's just not as robust as using these third-party apps. And the one that we recommend is Scoutify, mostly because, it's we've got all of our things that we can get preset into it to have all of our typical costs that we want included in our calculations. And then we can also make a buy list that we then import into Inventory Lab when we're listing the things that we've purchased. When we're listing them for sale on Amazon, that's really easy to just import that information over. And it also syncs really well with the repricer that we use. So all of it kind of works together. There's a question about Seller 365 also now includes Scout IQ, right? Do you know, Stephen?
Um, I'm not sure about that.
I'm not sure about that one either.
Yeah.
There's several things that it includes now, and it's a really great price for a lot of products. I'll put the link in the chat for Seller 365 if anybody wants to go check it out. That's where you would find Scoutify and Inventory Lab, and I'll look into that about Scout IQ also.
Yeah. And I did a little searching on my phone, in the Amazon seller app for trying to find your average selling price. There is a way where you can click on the menu button at the very bottom, and then look through business reports. But basically what it does is it opens up um a browser window that you can log into Seller Central. So it's the same thing as
Same.
it's not through the app. It's just a little window to get to Seller Central through the app that you would still have to log in. So yeah. So there's not a quick and easy way to find out.
Yeah. And yes, Scout IQ is part of Seller 365 as well as tactical arbitrage.
Hmm.
Yep. Is Scoutify and Inventory Lab the only two you use? No, we use tactical arbitrage also. I'm looking through because I'm like, I'm not even sure what all they put in the bundle.
Hmm.
This is very recent that they've done this.
Yeah.
I think the main ones we use are Scoutify, Inventory Lab, and tactical arbitrage.
Hmm.
Scout IQ is more for books, and is that correct?
Yeah,
And we just when we're doing books, we're usually just doing Scoutify.
correct.
Um, okay. So let's see. I think that's all the questions that I had coming in. If I missed anything, guys, let me know real quick in the chat. Like I said, those that are asking about the who already own the course or have been looking for updates to the course, I'll make sure that you get an email. Probably what we'll do is send out an email to everybody with some more details about it.
Yeah.
So,
By everybody, you mean like all the customers who
right,
purchased.
all of the
Yeah.
people who've enrolled in your FBA before. Is
Yeah.
that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. We'll send an email, and as long as you haven't opted out of that email, you'll get it.
yeah. And if you don't get that, just go ahead and reach out to us. I'll put the contact
Yep.
in there too. Um, yeah, because yeah, these are all really good questions, and we want to make sure that you get all your answers.
Yep.
All
Definitely.
right, so I'm not seeing any other questions coming in. So unless you want to sneak one in right at the end, I think that's all that we have.
I mean, I think we've had a really good time talking about things that we can do to prep for this summer. If you feel overwhelmed and you're like, I can't make this happen, we can help you. I mean, one of the ways that we can help you is by you logging in enrollment to the Reseller's Guide to a Year in FBA, a month-by-month guide to a profitable Amazon business. So you have the information that you need month by month, PDF outlines, PDF walkthroughs, video descriptions, 6 months access to Ask Me Anything calls, where you can get more help along the way, and it's a huge opportunity. And we're retiring the course, but the course is going to stick around. Just we're not going to offer it for sale anymore, but those who have currently purchased it will continue to enjoy the access to that. And so if you enroll today, you get that kind of access as well, to have information from January to December, what to do, what to ignore, what to focus on, and how to maximize your profits every month of the year. So again, that link, fultonefba.com/year in FBA, coupon code save 2025 to be able to enroll with a $20 off coupon code. And after midnight Tuesday night, the course will be retired and will no longer be offered for sale for enrollment. You'll still get access to it, but you're not going to be able to purchase it anymore. So enroll now to lock that in, and you'll be very thankful for that. Any final words, Rebecca, before we say goodnight?
I think that's all I have. I do want to say, Sarah, I don't know if you saw my message, but if you could shoot us an email, that would be great. Um, and yeah, thank you to everybody who is here. And thank you. Oh, Diane said she introduced somebody new to us, and it was great to have you here. I'm glad that you were able to hear all the info. I'm just glad for everybody who's been here and has been interacting in the chat. And yeah, if we didn't get your questions, shoot us an email. And yeah, that's all I've
Sounds
got.
good. Well, good night, everybody. God bless. Appreciate all of you. It's been fun, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.